Today, I have two very special guests with me, Mr. VN and his wife. They have been long-time clients, and today we are going to talk about their journey with us in personal finance, how they have benefited from our services in investments, asset protection, and comprehensive financial planning. Hi everyone, I am Jitendra Shrivastav, Strategist for managing and protecting your wealth. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. VN and Mrs. VN. It's a pleasure to have you both here. Let's start with a little background for our viewers. When you first came to us, what were your primary financial goals? And what challenges were you facing that made you seek professional help?
Thank you, Jitendra ji, for the question, and I appreciate you are hosting us both on this particular video. Your first question was related to what were my initial financial goals. To be frank about financial goals, when I came to you, I was a financial novice. Even today, I don't say that I'm an expert, but still, after coming to you, I realized that the way my finances were jumbled up and our life was financially going nowhere. And we had some sort of an insurance plans like LIC, which typically all Indians do have, for the sake of saving tax in India before we came to the UAE. But other than that, we did not have any such financial planning as such in our life. That's where we began our journey, and thanks for having guided us so far. Thank you.
What are your views on that?
Like Vinod said, when we came to you, Mr. Jitendra ji, it was like all our finances were all over the place. Like we had some goals like, we wanted to buy a house back in India. We wanted good education for our daughter. So there were some goals, but we didn't know how to achieve them. And there was never going to be enough money. With the amount of money we were making, we were just investing it here and there, but it was not getting compounded. It was not getting added up. And there was inflation and there was all other sort of things which were just building up. So we wanted a peace of mind. We wanted some kind of planning so that in maybe 5 years we can give good education to our daughter, maybe buy a house back in India. So all these things were what there, but now we think that we are on a right track.
You have both been working with us for some time now, especially in the area of investments. Could you share how our investment strategies have helped you grow your wealth and meet your financial goals?
So when it comes to investments, our idea of investments used to be putting money into the markets without doing any background checks, without having any knowledge of how to get that money to grow. So in that light, we actually started to invest in few mutual funds, the background of which was not known to us, whether they are good, they are bad, which way are they going to compound our money. No such ideas existed. So we just, like any other Indian typically who does not have any financial background or financial knowledge, was just putting the money as an SIP as well, and also as lump sum amounts into mutual funds without a strategy. So that is where we began our journey. And today I am happy and glad to say that we see a structure to it. We are not just putting money in unknown funds. Today we do the due research. We are on a platform today along with your help, and that is showing us which way our money is going and where do we want that money to go. So when we began the journey, nothing of this sort was available.
How about you?
Yeah, I remember the initial days when we met Mr. Jitendra. It was like, I remember he had given us an Excel sheet and he asked us to write all the expenses that we were doing in a month. So that was a pretty interesting exercise, because we came to know where we were spending, where we were doing unnecessary spending. So then we were able to discuss as to how to remove the unnecessary spending, but still keep something to have fun and enjoy your life as well, but how we can just be careful and plan for our retirement and our future goals.
That is great. Let's shift to the topic of asset protection and insurance. Protecting your family future is just as important as growing your wealth. How has having a proper insurance plan in place given you both peace of mind?
That's a very interesting question, because as I said in the beginning of the video, as all Indians and most of the Indians, we do we do save some sort of money in insurance in platforms like LIC. It's basically done for the purpose of tax saving, not for the purpose of insurance per se. And this knowledge was not available to us when we started off our journey with Jitendra ji. So that in itself tells us that we were not on the right track when we conjoined you. But having said that, when you explained to us the need for insuring the life, the need for us to be acknowledging the fact that life is not permanent here, right? That was a revelation. And when there were practical examples, like things can go wrong at any point in time because life is so unpredictable, right? And that's when actually we thought that number one priority should be securing our future. And that's where the peace of mind comes from. Because ultimately, if one of us, if the main breadwinner is gone, there should be something for the family to bank on. That realization came only after our meeting, our discussions. So thank you very much for that.
Insurance for us was always LIC. That's the only insurance that we understood. When we life insurance, when we hear about, we're into all type of LICs, and I think that's what all Indians do. But then we realized that this money is never going to be enough. Will it cover the life? It was not taking into account of the inflation. All these things, when we discussed with Mr. Jitendra, we understood that this money is never going to be enough. So how do we make a proper plan so that we have enough to have our lives insured?
Perfectly fine. Now, we also worked on a comprehensive financial plan for you, covering various aspects from insurance, investments, protection to retirement planning. How has this detailed financial plan changed the way you think about your future and financial security?
When we started off the journey, at that point in time, these milestones were not in our mind. The only milestone that I can think of when we started off this journey was about what Lakshmi said is education of our child. That was the single thing which we were thinking about when we started off our journey. Okay, and we did not have specific goals written in our minds, nor did we have any elaborate planning of that sort to achieve those goals. So that is where actually your guidance has taken us. A life which we joined together, which we started together after our marriage, comes with specific milestones at specific times of interval. This realization came after our discussion, and once that was made, you were able to channelize the money which was available to us in such a way that some money will be available to at each of these milestones. And that is something which gives us the real peace of mind that life is taken care of via the insurance, as well as those key milestones are taken care of via the planning which we have done. And that is really a positive feeling, to be frank.
What are your inputs?
So, like Vinod said, Mr. Jitendra ji is very easy to talk to. So, even if you're husband and wife, there are many things that we don't talk at home, like regarding our financial planning. Even though we know all these kind of things, we are always too busy to talk about it. It's like the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it. It will happen sometime, but it might be too late. So it's good that we start early. So when we used to have our weekly meetings with Mr. Jitendra, it was easy to talk. It was easy to jot down our goals and then how to achieve them. So only if you talk about it, you can achieve it. So that's what I believe.
Also, if you remember during our detailed financial planning journey, I suggested a way to enjoy your life while you are managing your finance, to keep a certain amount to have 1 or 2 foreign trips every year. How did you feel about it?
That's the best thing, because I am a person who loves to travel, but the thing is, even though we were not doing much, there was not enough money ever to travel. We didn't know where it was going. So now with planning, maybe we will be able to at least plan or keep for our trips, and then simultaneously plan our finances also. It's not it's neither this nor that, not enjoying anything, always thinking about finances, but nothing is happening on that end as well. So it's like a win-win situation where you enjoy your life as well as plan your future as well. So it's good.
Perfectly fine. Thank you so much. So, what advice would you give to other families or individuals who may be hesitant about working with financial advisors and professional planners?
That is a very potent question, because from my personal experience, I have met a lot of financial advisors, and I was actually quite late to meet you, Jitendra ji, and I repent at it or regret that we could not meet earlier. And generally what has happened over a period of time is there have been a lot of financial advisors who have given advices which have proven to be wrong in your life. That is my personal experience, and I believe most of the families would be going through similar experiences as well. So it does not mean that all the financial advisors are of that type, but because of this experience of people, there is generally a reluctance in people to come forward and meet a financial advisor. So my advice to anybody who is watching this video is, do not hesitate, because this is one opportunity for you to open up yourself without the compulsion of buying any products, without the compulsion of putting any money. Right at the word go. Take your time, because after meeting you, we really realize that there can be enough time given before you actually think and put your money into a particular product. This is not something which we have achieved with previous financial advisors we have been associated with. And that is the advice which I want to give any family. And start young. If you are starting younger, it is the best. We were a bit late. Had we started maybe 5 or 10 years earlier, we could have enjoyed much more. Thank you.
Very well said. And what about Mrs. VN? Including, did you ever feel that we are trying to sell something to you?
It's like, who is not hesitant to meet a financial advisor? Actually, a few years back, I didn't even know what a financial advisor was. So I think coming from India, we don't have that concept of financial advisor. So this was something new to both of us. Always good to meet him. There's no harm in meeting. He's not charging any money to meet you. So you meet, understand, at least he's a perfect host. So he'll make sure that you're comfortable and you know more about whatever he's trying to talk about. And there's no compulsion from his side to buy anything or to join any scheme. So it's pretty transparent, and it depends on you and your needs and your money. How much do you want to save, and how much can you keep aside for this kind of venture, like to start on a financial planning journey.
Thank you so much, Mr. VN. And thank you so much, Mrs. VN, for the contribution, the information you have provided to us. It's always rewarding to see how personalized financial planning can make such a positive impact on our clients' lives. For anyone watching, I hope this conversation has helped you understand the importance of having a well-rounded financial plan that includes investments, asset protection, insurance, and long-term planning. If you have any questions or would like to learn how we can help you on your financial journey, feel free to reach out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on personal finance and financial planning. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy and wealthy as a smart investor. I will see you in the next video.